What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Strac Reacts back with another reaction video. Today we got how the US ruined bread. Now the fact that there's even a video on this topic is just sad. This is completely depressing right here. The fact that there's a video on the US bread. That should tell you something, right? That should tell you a lot about the ingredients we have in our bread, the type of chemicals we probably have in our bread, the type of sugars, the type of food coloring dyes we probably have in our bread, and etc. Let's get right into the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn all post notifications on. Thank you so much for tuning in. Your support truly means the world to me. I love bread.
There is so much
right?
good bread in France.
What type of bread you eating? I hate it.
By bread alone. Without it, a meal seems incomplete.
On every corner, there is a bakery that is pumping out delicious, fresh, well-made bread.
It's so fresh.
This is not easily available to me, and I want to know why. Why is it that the bread that I can get easily looks very, very different? Why is it that the US sucks at making bread? In fact, let me just show you what that looks like.
I mean, look, man.
Okay, wait, it's 12 hours earlier, still back in the US. I'm actually at a grocery store right now.
Look at all that bread right there.
This is how
look at all them options.
Americans get our bread. Sigh. My favorite part is when they make this plastic.
Oh my goodness, that's a bread. I eat that bread right there. It's that, and then there's another whole wheat one. I hope he goes to that one too, so I can show you. Oh my goodness, let me tell you something about this bread. Even if you keep it in the refrigerator, that's how bad it is. You got to keep the bread in the refrigerator. We normally don't do that, but we just started doing that because they start changing colors within a few days. We had it for like a week and we didn't even open it, brand new. And I'm like, yo, it's going bad already. It's ridiculous.
Look like it's steaming. It's just like foggy plastic to be like, this was just baked right now. And it's like, no, this was actually baked like 3 weeks ago.
No, like somebody just
in like Connecticut.
I mean, it's even
like somebody just blew all their hot breath inside of it and they just you're like, no, that's disgusting, man. Nobody want that type of design.
Always buy Wonder Bread. You'll be glad you did.
Don't buy Wonder Bread.
This bread is because I want to bring it with me to France, just to like have an example lesson, and I may use it as a pillow because it's literally as soft as a Nova foam pillow.
That's the cheap bread you bring to the barbecues when you just want to give it to the people. You don't want to buy the expensive stuff.
In the EU. Back to France, let's do it.
Just use that.
Nothing more American than Wonder Bread.
Yo, he really brought it with him.
I'm going to France.
We going to France, not you. We all going. Let's see. No way they let you bring that there, though.
In case you're wondering, yes, any video from Paris must include music like this. Nice, gentle cafe accordion music. There's my composer Tom making it right now.
It's pretty cool.
It's just so good. Okay, so yeah, we know that France is good at bread and the US sucks at it. Is this just another video where I shit on the USA for being terrible at certain things?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm getting
but
that
hear
bread
me out.
humor.
I actually have something to say here. I believe that bread is a really important symbol for a bigger cultural phenomenon in the US, and that's what I want to talk about today. Where industrialized bread came from, why it exists, and how some people are trying to change it. I'll get to that explanation, but first I'm going to go into that bakery over there and buy myself a large ball of butter and flour stuffed with chocolate. Oh, and Tom, can you throw in a beat to this accordion music, please?
Chocolate.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So why bread? There's a million other things I could talk about that are better in other parts of the world, but it turns out that bread is the most important prepared food that humans have ever made, and therefore it is worth talking about. So
That's right.
let me explain in under a minute
Bread
the
could do a lot.
overview of the tens of thousands of years of history of bread and its chemistry and why it's so important. Don't think I can do it in under a minute? Check this out. 12,000 years ago, humans realized that they could plant this grass instead of just foraging for it. This grass was called wheat, And when it was ground up with a stone, it made this powder that, if you put water with it, creates this stretchy, goopy thing that has a bunch of sugar from the flour that's been released. Oh, look. Wow. All the bacteria in the air love this sugary goop. Nice. And they descend to feast on it, burping out gas as they eat. Whoa, the gas can't float up into the air because it's getting trapped in this stretchy ball of goop. Like a balloon, like a pillow, like magic. Magic. All this feasting and burping is making it rise and turn into a pillowy thing that is way bigger than it was. Put this blob next to some fire, and all of the little bubbles that were just created turn hard. Wait, all of this can happen because of this one grass? Yes. Cool, let's plant a lot more of this grass and build all of human civilization off of it, said humans. So that is bread, like the oldest and most important prepared food item that humans have ever invented.
Gotta have bread in the house, man.
Humans got really good at doing this bread, flour, water, yeast thing. Ooh. And especially here in France, they took it really seriously and have created a whole culture around making bread delicious and amazing. And you can see that they've continued that culture today just by the number of bakeries that exist in this city. There are 30,000 independent bakeries in France. Compare that to the 3,000 that are in the United States. And then remember that the US has like a much larger population. And if you do all the math, you see that France has 50 times more bakeries per capita than the United States. 50 times. I mean, that is such a clear indication of how much they value good bread that is baked a certain way.
Here with Mr. Local over here, eating local French food in France.
Now, don't get me wrong now. I've had some good bread, you know. My grandmother, she bakes bread from scratch. Like from scratch. I've had roti, curry, all that, and it is beautiful. That fresh bread out the oven, you get that little, nice little brush of flour on it. Not dough, excuse me, flour. Oh, it's beautiful, man. If you guys are watching this video, just had a tongue twister. That was crazy. It's because I'm thinking about that bread and my mouth is watering right now. If you guys are watching this video right now and you have never tried freshly baked bread before, freshly made and baked bread before, I consider you go ahead, look up a little YouTube video. Via phone, via TV, it don't matter. Right on YouTube, find you a little video. How to bake some bread, make it from scratch and bake it up and let me know how it tastes. It is beautiful. Amazing. Can I get it here?
Yes. 94% of Parisians live less than 5 minutes away from a bakery. And that shows you they care. They care. It's like you hear stuff like that.
I think of a bakery, I think of cake. Nothing but sweet cake.
And the culture of eating is just as much important here as how like the ingredients are sourced and prepared and whatnot.
Yeah.
People don't eat while rushing towards their next meeting or whatever. Like it's very much, no, you sit down, you make it a thing. It's just a part of the way of life here.
Yeah. Oh, wow, okay. That's nice.
People come into the boulangeries almost on a daily basis and they check in with each other. It's like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm doing great. This is what's happening.
Why? That is the question. Good. Why are these bread cultures so different? And the answer comes down to what America was founded on. I mean, a reminder that America is a country founded by a bunch of people who left their country to go make a new life, to do things differently, to do things more individualistically. And the way that expressed itself for a really long time was mechanization, industrialization. And to be clear, in the history, Britain was as much to blame for all of this mechanizing of bread as America was.
That's insulting.
But anyway, we're talking about the USA for a little bit. So by the 1920s,
No, don't do that.
An automatic bread slicer. Hello, convenience, innovation, America. No more serrated knife versus a tough, crusty loaf. Now the machine will do it for you. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, so that's where we're at. This is the greatest thing, says America. And Europe was like, wait, yeah, we like machines too, but like not for bread. Slice this bread and you make your bread spoil faster. We don't need a machine for sliced bread. But the automatic slicer was just the beginning for America.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Now that we have sliced bread that, yes, spoils faster, let's make it, I don't know, not spoil as fast. One way to do this is to take the part of the wheat berry that has oils in it, the husk and the bran, and get rid of it. Focus on the big, carb-loaded berry in the middle.
Okay.
But there had to be a more industrial solution to make the bread last longer, to be whiter, to be softer.
Here we go.
And it's the 1950s, and Europe is like, whoa, dude, America, chill out. Like, bread is just bread. We've been doing this for literally tens of thousands of years. Let's just, like, stick to the program. And America's like, no. So America starts adding all of this stuff to their bread, bleaches and dough conditioners, and suddenly they're putting their bread into controlled chambers so that it will be hot enough to rise faster. And they're putting preservatives in so that their bread can now sit on a shelf for not just 1 or 2 days like it should, but 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, a whole week.
It's because, my friend, let me tell you something about America. Quantity is more important than quality over here. Remember that. If you want to take a trip here, or if you want to move here, quality is everything. But over here, quantity means everything.
And it's still soft. It is still white.
They don't treat it
still
like
spongy and delicious. But it now has 15 ingredients instead of 3. And it's cheap and convenient and stable. And America is loving this. And Europe is like, whoa, you took this way too far. This is not bread anymore. And indeed, I would argue
It's
that
cake.
this is not bread anymore. This is a bread-like substance. It's a different product made from a different process, and yet we use the same word for it. If you want to know more about what's inside of this kind of bread, I was actually here making this video when I stumbled upon a video from one of my favorite YouTubers, Adam Ragusia, that's like a deep dive into all of the ingredients in this kind of industrial bread. Definitely go check it out. Some bread in the US has taken it so far that they will put in additives that keep it spongy and soft, or that keep it really white, even though these additives are known to like cause cancer and inflame asthma and do all of these terrible things.
Congestion.
Many of these additives that are legal to be put in American bread are literally illegal in Europe and many other countries. Azodicarbonamide is one of them. This is a whitening agent. But you know what? This product, ADA, also helps other things stay softer, like yoga mats.
What?
ADA is in yoga mats to make them spongy and soft. And it is
I might live longer if I move to the UK. I'm considering it. Yeah, I might actually be able to hit that 110-year mark if I take my behind over to the UK. Yup, I know why I'm getting up out of here.
banned in the EU and many other countries. Our obsession with convenience, cheapness, softness, shelf life has led us down a really dangerous path, and yet we're totally okay with it somehow. This is why I think bread is a useful symbol for broader American culture. It shows us how far we're willing to go to prioritize things like cheapness and convenience.
No, prioritize
over tried
that dollar.
and true methods that have been baked into culture.
Of course, industrialized bread exists here as well.
Because the US would have still been making good money if they would have just kept the bread the same, kept it natural, kept it homemade, freshly baked. Now we got 30,000 bake shops around the US now instead of factories for cutting bread. I mean, they make bread too, but cutting bread and that whole process, like, man, we don't need that. All that is BS, man. US would have still been getting sales off of bread. We need bread. What we gonna do without it? Like, a lot of people need bread. This is their scheme. If we could produce more slices of bread per second, and we cut them on and get them packaged within a minute, we can get a whole thing. This is what they start doing. And they want some money. They want some more money. And this is their problem, man. I'm tired of it, man.
It doesn't have some of the carcinogenic ingredients that are not allowed in the EU, but it still has all of the dough conditioners, bleaches, still artificially
This is
risen,
crazy.
all of that. The difference is that it is rare. It is much more rare here. What is much more common is the ability to go to your local bakery and get bread that only has a few ingredients. And it's the ingredients that humans have been using for tens of thousands of years to make this staple food.
The feeling that I generally have is that this is how it should be. And then when I go elsewhere and you have other kinds of bread that last kind of bizarre amounts of time, you know, you're like, this is not really how it should be. You get calibrated to kind of...
This is the first one. And this is the second one I eat. Those are the only two I eat. And I'm sitting there thinking they're the best options. And I eat rye bread too. This one right here.
It's not really how it should be.
About
You
to
get
give me
calibrated to
some
kind
bread
of
shipped
this
from the
new
UK.
standard here, and it kind of ruins you.
Turns out Paris is low-key one of the most bikeable cities I've ever been in, but it used to not be like that. Like last time I was here, it was not this bikeable. I smell some urban design policy changes afoot here. Someone tried to change this in the US a few years ago, a company called Panera.
What could be better than a visit to Panera Bread?
Tried to bring like European bread culture to the United States. And they did. They had high quality, delicious bread. But what happens next is potentially the best metaphor for America.
Hello, I like money.
They got a business loan so they could expand. And then they got investors and they started to expand and scale. And then they were purchased in a massive merger. And now they're planning to go public on the public stock exchanges. Like they just became a massive corporation who does not focus on making quality artisan bread. Instead, they're now just a machine pumping out bread that kind of looks and feels like European bread, but is now done in a uniform, mass-produced, industrialized process, all in the name of scale and profit.
Wow, they have it. Canned bread.
So the question is, why does this matter? Like, am I just being a snob who's like, traditional bread is better and therefore everyone should have it and I hate America?
That was snobby. You're a snob.
No, I'm not.
Kind of, yeah. But also, it actually makes a difference in how it goes into your body. The beauty of bread always was that you could put this goop out in the air and bacteria would come down and start to feast on it and kind of start the digestion process. That is what natural fermentation does, is it starts to break down the wheat and make it ready to go into your body. The way that we make bread in America doesn't really leave time for this. We use heat and chemicals to speed this process up, to make it rise faster, to make it rise bigger in an artificial, synthetic way. And so you're actually getting a much inferior product to what original bread making looks like and what it produces. Yes, it lasts longer. Yes, it tastes like chewy, pillowy, sugary heaven, but it's not bread the way that humans have been eating it for tens of thousands of years. Convenience, scale, independence, that is what we love in America. We love shelf life. We love industrialized efficiency. And to me, yeah, all that stuff is super great because it means we get to live these wonderful, prosperous, convenient lives. But I think we lose something really big when we focus on those as the priorities as opposed to quality and community and culture.
That's right.
Last thing I'll say here is that this is slowly changing. You have a movement in the US of people making some of the best bread in the world using the most traditional methods and ingredients. In these big cities, you have amazing bakeries doing bread that is on par with anything you could get in Europe. And that kind of blows my mind. The problem is, and my critique, is that that is still so rare and specialty and really only available to people who live in big urban areas. And meanwhile, the rest of us, the most accessible bread to us is this industrial, mass-produced garbage.
It's crazy.
Belongs in the
It's crazy. And you know what? They don't really care. They just give us whatever. Like we some type of animals. I'm done eating it. I haven't eaten bread in so long. But this is the bread I got to pick up from the store if a family member needs it. Or this is what I see my parents buying. I'm like, this is nasty, man. Like, what is good anymore here? Like, I get aggravated on a daily basis because I'm like, yo, what is good to eat here? Nothing is good anymore. It's like everything tastes good when you're a child because you don't know better. Now it's like, I'm ready to go move on a little island somewhere far away where the food is natural, where I could go get my fruit off of a tree. You guys let me know how you felt about this video down below in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, it's your boy Strac Reacts, clocking out with another reaction video. Thank you so much for all the love and support. It truly means the world to me. Stay safe. I love y'all, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one.